Naomi Meredith here, and I am coming at you live here in my home office with little Freddy Fred in the background basking in the sun. And I am so excited to be here and answer all your questions about my 3rd through 5th grade STEM virtual planning workshop. If you haven't heard about it, this is a 2-hour live workshop where you get to interact with me and other STEM teachers who are looking for a way to amp up their lesson planning for their upper elementary students. So if you know that you have some ideas for your older students, but then you just don't know how to take it to the next level, this workshop is perfect for you. So I will be taking you behind the scenes exactly how I plan with my upper elementary students, the resources that I use, and then we will walk away within those 2 hours of 2 units that are fully thought out that you can take back into your classroom. So of course, this is 2 hours of your time, but think about how that can actually change the way that you plan for the rest of the entire school year. When I walked into the STEM classroom from being an elementary classroom teacher, so I taught 2nd grade for 2 years, 3rd grade for 4 years, I knew that there was all these awesome tools to use with my students, and through trial and error, I really figured out how to amp up that lesson planning that is rooted in standards and that they can go through the entire engineering design process, but also implement those really awesome tools that are in your classroom or that you're hoping to use. So joining me live would be such a benefit to you because you get to ask me questions there. We can pick out standards that you want to tackle. And again, you can take this right into your classroom. So if you are wondering, well, does this even work for me? Why does this even matter? Why should I join in? Well, think about it. 2 hours. How often do you really just sit down for 2 hours and just think about your planning in a thoughtful way instead of just throwing it all together? And with that time, you are just really setting that foundation where you can be thoughtful in your planning for your upper elementary students. I know that you are busy, but if you can't join us live, it's going to be Saturday, March 4th from 9 to 11 a.m. And if you can't join us there, you can still jump in on this workshop. It will all be recorded so you can watch back in your own time. Maybe you can even only join us for a little bit. I have a teacher who just signed up where she can only join for part of the time, and then she's going to come back in and watch the replay. So the replay will be uploaded that day so you can watch in your own time. And really cool, a new feature that I've added to my workshops is with that replay, you also get a private podcast link. So you can even watch the replay and listen to the audio on the go because, of course, I know you're busy. I'm busy too. Teachers are busy. But we also need to think of ways where we can really up our professional development, and we can do it in creative ways like this workshop. This workshop is made specifically for teachers who are in the elementary STEM space, but if you are a classroom teacher and you are trying to figure out how to plan STEM when it comes to your regular classroom, this workshop actually will work for you as well. All the things that I teach in my K-5 STEM classroom can be taught in a homeroom classroom. And so if you are also looking to do that with your students, jump on this workshop. I would love to have you there. Likewise, if you teach gifted and talented students with a STEM focus, you are a homeschool parent, or even if you are a library or media specialist, again, who is looking to enhance your planning for the upper elementary students, this works great for you. Now, you might be wondering, why in the world should I buy this workshop? Who cares? I can just buy lessons online. You still can do that. Still buy lessons online. But it's really good to think about, too, how you can plan lessons effectively for your students so that they can be successful and make those cross-curricular connections. And really, it will help you take a different lens when you are looking at the lessons that you are planning. And are they integrated? Are they deep and have all of this high-level learning. So of course, no, there's no perfect curriculum out there, but it's going to help you give you that lens so that you are planning thoughtfully and effectively for your students. The cool thing about coming in live is that you get to interact with other STEM teachers who are there, which oftentimes we are an island. We are the only teachers usually in our buildings who are teaching STEM, or maybe you are a classroom teacher who's interested in STEM and you just don't know who to connect to. So the benefit of joining live is you get to make those connections. We get to interact with each other and talk with one another about what is going on and plan these lessons in a workshop style, which is really, really fun. What's awesome too is that there will be a collaborative Jamboard. So it's kind of like a Padlet, but there will be a collaborative Jamboard that you can add your ideas on here, and that will even be open during all the replays. So then you can come back to this collaborative space and see what other resources teachers are using and gather ideas from there, which is really, really exciting. Now, if you're really struggling with, you want to take this workshop, you don't know how you can afford it at this time, don't you worry. I have set up a whole letter for you where you can give this to your admin or whoever purchases things for you. Maybe there's a little bit of budget for professional development in your building or district. I wrote this up all for you so you can present it to those people who can make those decisions when it comes to purchasing things, where it can help you give you the wording, and so you're not stuck where you want to take this, you need this, but it's just the cost isn't for you, or maybe you are looking for ways to use some of your budget. So very easy to jump in on that, and I have that all set up. Now, if you've joined my STEM Teacher 101 course or the K through 2 STEM planning workshop, you might be wondering, how are these actually different? Are they different? Yes, they are different. There are some similarities in the way that I plan with K through 2 and 3 through 5 to have that progression of learning. But I really do, in my K through 2 lessons, is I do a mini project where we don't work on that whole project for a week. We do a STEM station rotation and then also a STEM in stories. When it comes to my older students, my projects typically take that whole week. And so really getting into all the stages of the engineering design process. Of course, you can modify that with a process that you use that is similar, like project-based learning, design thinking, all of those types of things. But my projects do take longer, and so I really have to be more thoughtful in the tools that I use to get them to make those cross-curricular connections and use higher level thinking strategies and collaborate and have these creative projects. So there are some similarities within that. And then when it comes to the STEM Teacher 101 course, I talk about all these processes, but they are more in isolated ways where you can apply it to where you need, and also those systems and routines. So definitely jump in on all those if you need those too. Happy to give you the link. So again, I would love to see you there at this live workshop that will be hosted for 3rd through 5th grade STEM virtual planning. And we will do that on live Saturday, March 4th from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. Of course, you can still jump on in, catch that replay. Even if you join live, you'll have access to the replay. But I am here to support you in your STEM journey, to really help you in this process and be your guide, be your coach, so that you can feel confident in the STEM space, and then also take that information back to your students and have everything connect and align. So thank you so much. You can check that all out. I will put the link down in the caption or show notes wherever you are listening. And you can even go there directly at naomimeredith.com/secondary workshop. Let me know if you have any questions. I would love to see you there and help you with your STEM planning.